Hello everybody, welcome back to StarCraft 2 action. We have Harstem going up against SKillous here in a best of 5, starting an Oceanborn for the Bellum Gens Elite. And both of these players have already played a PvP series in this tournament. So if you want to get a little head start on what they are looking for in their PvPs, you can watch SKillous play against Stats, and you can also watch Harstem play against Showtime. And I did a pretty, well, not in-depth, but I talked about Harstem's PvP style a little bit more because he and Showtime already played. Little cut because my cat wanted to leave the room, but Harstem and Showtime played against each other in Home Circuit 25. And so I looked at those games, seeing what they favored, and talked about Harstem's preferences a little bit in that video. But suffice to say that Harstem likes to go Robo before he goes Twilight, and SKillous likes to go Twilight before he goes Robo, sometimes going for Stargate, and then Twilight, and then Robo. And Harstem goes Stargate, and then I'm not quite sure if he goes Robo, then Twilight, or after Stargate. He always goes Twilight, because I think Harstem only went like one Stargate, but I don't know. Can't quite remember. Both players have a probe out on the map that is not going to find each other, but they are looking for something. Ooh, Harstem is going to get a proxy pylon here that SKillous is not going to find. So we're going to look for SKillous to go for more upgraded gateway units, as I alluded to, with Archons, Charge Zealots, Link Stalkers, and the +2 at least before adding on more Robos and Robotic Support Bay for these Disruptor boys. Now we see Stargate out on the map here for Harstem. Nice. He's breaking the mold, which is good, because if I can tell you what Harstem likes to do, surely SKillous can tell you that as well. So I like that he's switching it up a little. You see these double gates from SKillous producing the Stalkers, whereas on Harstem's side of the map we see a Stalker and an Adept coming out. SKillous, so far, no tech structure as of yet. Could be coming down. He has 100 gas. Where did that go? Oh, it went into sentries. Okay, so SKillous looking for an earlier Nexus here. And the double Stalker is looking around. Oh, this probe of Harstem staying alive, ladies and gentlemen. And goes in for the scout. Gets the immediate scout. So Harstem, and I don't know if he showed it to SKillous. Should have switched to the vision. I'm sorry about that. This side of the map, do see that the probe of SKillous also gets a full scout, gets into the base, finds 2 pylons, and an Adept. Oh, that Adept takes a lot of damage. Goes for the shade, but gets blocked out by the probe. Shield battery nicely positioned. And we see a Robo that Harstem also sees, and the first Oracle is on its way to the main base of SKillous. Let's see if he is in position to deal with this Oracle. Could do a cheeky bit of damage. We do see 2 Stalkers ready for it. SKillous knew that this was a possibility. We see 1 probe going down, and this Oracle taking quite a bit of damage. Robo gets cancelled for a Twilight console instead. And on Harstem's side of the map, no other tech yet. Ooh. That hallucinated Phoenix. Very interesting. The moment that SKillous sees that Stargate unit, he's like, nope, Robo's so bad against that, I'm not playing that. Going into the Twilight console, probably wants to go for Blink. Sorry for all the boxing, I guess I play video games too much. And kind of funny to see these sentries in PvP now, compared to, let's say, a year ago. Because we have so many more hallucinations that, well, proxies are harder to hide, because those hallucinated Phoenix do fly fast, and Harstem going for that Robo facility, favoring it over the Twilight console. At least for now. Blink is coming up here for SKillous with 3 gates, has a decent amount of Stalkers on the map, 8 of them. 8 is actually quite a bit, quite a few. Third base going down for Harstem. Let's see if he keeps up the Robo tendency for the rest of this series as well. Or that he throws in a game where he just goes bonkers Twilight console. He just skips the Robo altogether and, like, I mean, eventually you make it. Oh, SKillous is a proxy pylon that Harstem finds out on the map. Now, what's the deal here? We even see a stasis ward on the third. That is super cute. Can you put it? No, you can't. You just can't put a building down because the ward is considered a building, right? So you can't, like, just build it and get frozen shortly after. You actually just can't build a nexus there. And now, oh, nice. SKillous actually is able to put it down because the probe wasn't on the location of the nexus. Clean play there by SKillous. If you're slightly less careful, you just completely lose the ability to get a third base there. Or you can take it, like, slightly more in front. Still have a nice stasis ward here to defend. And look at this Immortal. Harstem really liking the ability to just anchor his defensive capability on these Robo units. And these are the ones that still have a decent attack speed. Yes, yes, but these Stalkers getting force fielded out by SKillous and subsequently picked off. No more shield battery because that one got picked off earlier. And SKillous is just shaving. Oh my god! Blinks into all of Harstem's units, gets completely stasised up. Like, that's his entire army. Except for 2 units. I feel like Harstem should just go and kill these units. Like, one warpin can't be bigger than this army. So if you want to fight this army at any point, you just need to run. But, oh, the probes are coming out. I think SKillous is just going to blink out. No? Oh, he goes for the force fields. The blinks don't come off cooldown in stasis. Apparently, stuff you gotta know. Your abilities do not cool down when you are stasised. That makes sense, but it's easy to forget. 3 Immortals, though, hold strong. The probes were pulled or pulled back to the base, even. Interesting. Let's see. Robo going down for SKillous with 4 more gates. His third base is also up and running. A couple Blink Stalkers try to get into the natural here to try and pick off a couple probes. You need the 4 or 3. I think it's 4 Stalkers to one-shot workers. No, it's 3, but it's 4 for SCVs. I'm pretty sure. Although, why does he bring 4 then? I guess you still kill them through a shoot battery? I don't know. I don't play Protoss. I'm sorry. I'll try to check this in the unit test map after. Oracle's coming out. But since SKillous sent in 4 Stalkers, I'm 100% sure he can one-shot probes with that. But I thought it could be 3 as well, but it's 3 Roaches. So probably it is 4 Stalkers. Anywho, both players now kind of lining up their builds, or their tech, rather. Both players getting the Robo, getting those Templar Archives, or yeah, Templar Archives in sync with each other. I sigh because I keep messing up Twilight Console and Templar Archives for no reason. I just think of the one building that allows you to make Templar, and then I say either Twilight Console or Templar Archives, and then I start doubting myself, and then, you know how it goes. System 1, System 2, etc. The War Prism action from SKillous. He is known for those ninja prisms. At least in my channel, he is. He just always seems to sneak those War Prisms in. Now, for his stats, he didn't get it in. Very similar attack, but still ended up winning after he saw that stats was just too defensive. And that's kind of what I'm expecting SKillous to do. As you can see, still no Robo units in the army. 4 Immortals here. The Ninja Prism is ready to move out. SKillous applying a lot of pressure in the main and in the front. Oh my god, that's a lot of Zealots coming in. Now, if Harstem also warps in a bunch of Zealots, this is going to be a green and blue blob, and we're not going to know who's winning. Lots of Stalkers here at the 4th, trying to get some damage done. In the front, also a fight going on. Oh, SKillous doesn't go for it. Seemed like he had a bigger army. These Zealots are just derping around, and I'm not sure what they are thinking, but Harstem does manage to hold. Does lose 9 probes there. And doesn't really get any counter damage done. I don't know where the Oracle is. One Oracle over there might have gotten a stasis one. We weren't looking, although there are cannons, so probably not. Ooh, SKillous does get the nice A move here at the natural. Takes the field center, but only with a small force. Does get a couple nice units killed there. I think he even caught an Immortal. And in the meanwhile, these Stalkers are moving in. Oh my god, SKillous just pulling him apart. And now the Ninja Prism moves in again, but there are some Stalkers here from Harstem. He does not have Blink, actually. Harstem does not have Blink, completely skipped it. I don't know if that's a mistake, but these Stalkers suddenly could not blink onto these War Prism, or that War Prism. And SKillous, oh my god, his Stalkers as well. The mobility for SKillous, and just attacking in multiple fronts, putting on immense pressure here onto Harstem. And now SKillous' army comes together. Harstem's army is not completely together, but now SKillous kind of getting sandwiched here. It's like, who's flanking who? SKillous retreating with his Archons. The Immortals do a lot of damage. This one Archon stays alive. Oh my god, 10 health and fucking 8 shields. How in the world are these Archons alive? The Zealots run in front. They warped it from behind. The 4th is dead, and Harstem gets wrecked here in game number 1. SKillous, oh my lord, runs in from the bottom, the right, the main, the third. My heart is racing, and I wasn't even playing that. Harstem, dude, trying to keep up with this young man with the, like, 160,000 APM. Was it a Rainer or is this SKillous? I don't know. But that was very, very nice play from SKillous. Dude, just the army movement, pulling them apart. This is some goddamn StarCraft. And to dispel doubt once and for all, 4 Stalkers with +0. One-shot a probe. 3 Stalkers with +0. Do not one-shot a probe. They stay alive with 1 HP. So as soon as you have +1 attack, you one-shot the probe. And for game number 2, we load up into Goldenaura. SKillous going up against Harstem, playing a brilliant game number 1. So if you want to see more StarCraft just like that, be sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Thank you very much. Harstem has to rethink his game plan here. SKillous kind of pulling him apart on Oceanborn, and we've seen that happen a lot on that map specifically because it is actually quite difficult to defend that map on 4 bases. 3, wonderfully defensive map, but as soon as you are on 4 bases, you always seem to get stuck on that ramp down to your 4th base. Every time it happens. It happened between Showtime and Harstem at the Home Server Cup 25 Game 5. Small spoiler, but that was cool, go watch it. And now, it kind of happened, not that much, but SKillous did kind of pull Harstem between his natural and his 4th base, and was able to get very good trades a couple times over, and eventually ended up taking that game by just pure maneuvering of his units. That is just super cool StarCraft. All these units don't have, like, crazy abilities. We have, like, Blink and a couple Force Fields, maybe a Guardian Shield. Like, we have a passive on Charge, we have a passive on Immortals. Maybe like 1 War Prism there, like a little bit of vision with hallucinated phoenixes, but nothing crazy. It's not like about the 1 Disruptor Ball. It's not about like fungal chaining or whatever, you know? Like, it's just raw units with just movement, kiting, attacking, concaves, and some small abilities. And honestly, just like great fencing match from SKillous. Again, the probes are out on the map for both players. What is Harstem gonna do with this time around? Is he just looking for potential proxies by SKillous? Does he think that SKillous is the proxy type player? Or does he think that SKillous does it probably 1 to 2 times per series? Meaning that if he catches it, it's a free win, so he's gonna do it every game. I can see that. Like, if you believe that your opponent is gonna do it like twice in the best of 5, that seems like a pretty good gamble. Ooh, double stalker coming out of Harstem. Do take down that probe. SKillous going for the sentry first into a stalker. Goes for that faster nexus once again. So saving on the minerals. Of course, stalkers 125 minerals, whereas the sentry only 50. Now the nexus does go down for Harstem as well. Isn't that delayed? Now he's getting some sentries of his own. Soon we're probably going to see the hallucinated Phoenix go across the map and confirm on either side what the tech is going to be. And for now, the expectation is Harstem to throw down a Robo before Twilight, and SKillous to do the opposite. No probes out on the map, so both players just kind of sitting back. We see shield battery here for both players, and Twilight going down for Harstem. Okay, so slight difference, and nicely kind of fencing away this hallucinated Phoenix, making sure that can't get that scout for free. And maybe if that hallucinated Phoenix went in right away, he might have just... Well, probably still would have gone Twilight then, because then you kill it. So let's see what Harstem does when he goes Twilight first. Is it just another style that he can play, the Swiss Army knife of El Capitan? Or does he have something planned? Is he gonna go for the glaives? Is he gonna go for maybe a charge first build? No. It's gonna be the blink. Maybe he's gonna add a couple gateways here. But I'm expecting to see Robos from both players. You want to have either a War Prism or an Observer or both. SKillous scouts out about everything here with his hallucinated Phoenix. And Harstem also confirmed the Twilight with his 2 depths on the map here for Harstem that SKillous does not have. SKillous slightly more probies and going for a third base here. Harstem is going to see it almost immediately. So does that change anything for Harstem? He is going for more gateways before his own third if he's going to take one. But we don't see a proxy pylon. We do see a probe coming out with the army. And a Robo is going down for SKillous. He's making more gateways now. But is this in time? Harstem is across the map here. 2 more gateways are finishing up. That means he has 4 gateways now. He already has Blink. You can just get some hallucinated Phoenix and jump into the main here. Maybe snipe a pylon. I'm not sure what Harstem is posturing for. He's sending out a probe as well. A probe of SKillous is going across the map and is scouting out the third base location. I think he saw this interaction on the minimap and now he's confused that he doesn't see anything. SKillous sacrifices 1 stalker here at the front to know what's going on. Harstem shows himself. And he's doing nothing. He has 4 gateways. Am I wrong? 4 gateways. It's just 4 gateways and nothing. But I go for the gold. That is kind of cool. The Adepts making sure that the Xel'Naga is not taken by SKillous, and Harstem puts down a pylon there. He's putting on immense pressure here onto SKillous, because SKillous kind of playing in the dark here. Doesn't know how many bases there are. Full-on force fields from Harstem there, making sure that all of these stalkers can't really participate. And he's jumping on top of this third base. Is he going to take down all of the units of SKillous? He just has the bigger army. There should be an Immortal coming out. There's 1, but is it enough? There is no shield battery at the third anymore, but this Immortal is now here, and every time that Immortal fires, it's doing major damage. 13 probes do go down, and the probe count does even up. The third base for Harstem going down on the gold. And Harstem behind this, not really doing anything. He's just making more stalkers. He's not going for +1. He's not going for a Robo. It's just Twilight Blink Stalker. Just Harstem is playing as if he's playing against a Zerg, and he's like, nah, dude. I just want to make stalkers and attack. Glaives coming up here from SKillous. That is wonky, but it might just be what he needs. If he survives long enough, 2 Immortals now. 2 Immortals make it very difficult to play with your Stalker Ball. Because, like, you have to, like, hit the Immortal, blink that Stalker back, hopefully he doesn't die, and then blink in with all of your Stalkers after to just snipe it. But if there's just too many units, you're probably just gonna die. Oh my god, the gold got scouted. Oh my god, it got scouted and cancelled. Harstem, GG's out. SKillous. What? El Capitan is not happy with what happened here and what he saw. His gold base gets found. SKillous expanded towards his gold base, making it even harder to hold for Harstem because SKillous can be defensive and offensive by basically just being here, which is about 1.5 screens away from his, well, third base. And he is 1, 2, 3, 3.5 screens away from his own third base. Like, that is not an advantageous position for Harstem. Didn't quite get the damage done that he wanted. He he had like one sentry. He lost them all in the jump here. Never really got to blink in with all of his stalkers, which I think would have been a nice move. Killing the Robo, making sure that only 1 or 2 immortals get out. But that was not the case, and a Ninja Prism was underway. We're getting glaives, and SKillous just up 2-0 in a best of 5. And for game number 3, we load up into a Ghost River. SKillous is up 2-0 against Harstem, which, I mean, after seeing the games, deservingly so. SKillous is playing godlike. But I kind of had Harstem and SKillous pegged on a slightly more similar level, but maybe SKillous's PvP is just kind of the antithesis to Harstem's PvP, or the kryptonite, or however you want to put it, like stylistic differences. Just the rock to his paper, or, well, the rock to his scissors, I suppose, in that analogy. But still, I have been liking Harstem's approach to the matchup. He has been trying to switch it up. He's not being predictable. He went for the Proxy Stargate game 1. He went for the Robo cancel into Twilight game number 2. Or no, he didn't cancel the Twilight. He made sure that SKillous couldn't scout it right away. And SKillous did cancel his Twilight in game number 1. So both players again sending out their probes. And going for the high ground wall, which we've talked about 100 times. No low ground ramp, no low ground wall, please. And the probe of SKillous is moving into the base of Harstem. Both players, of course, completely mirrored, as in any PvP. Harstem puts out a pylon in the middle-ish of the map. It's kind of like close to his third, I guess. What is this? I guess it's going to be a proxy Stargate then. Could be a proxy Robo. We've seen Harstem specifically do that, but he put it at the top, I think against Showtime. I'm pretty sure, and Harstem does build the Robo. So that's twice now, I think, if I remember correctly, that Harstem goes for proxy Robo on Ghost River. So next time I see Harstem play in this map versus another Protoss, I'm just going to predict that. You know, I'm going to look crazy smart if I'm right. Both players going for a Robo. Shield Battery blocks Harstem out. Let's see if he hangs around with the probe. He does not. SKillous does not see this Robo. And 1 Adept, 2 Adept come out. Harstem is hanging out here, sees the Shades, runs away. And the Shades do clamp onto the probe here. But that does give SKillous full vision, and SKillous... Oh my god, he actually clicked the probe away. Does not find the Robo. And these Stalkers are hunting for these Adepts, just trying to keep them busy. And dude, SKillous is looking everywhere. Look at these units just running across the map, trying to find anything funky. And the 2 Shades are moving to the natural. They find that there is no natural base, but SKillous also hasn't taken one of his own. He has a Robo and 2 gates. And what are these Shades up to? There is a Warp Prism going across. And now we see an Immortal startup. What is this Warp Prism going to do? There's no units in there. I am honestly kind of confused. Both players seem to be doing something similar. Ninja Prism here for SKillous. And another Prism here for Harstem. Doesn't warp in any units as of yet. But probably is going to warp in 2 Adepts and run into his base now, isn't he? Oh, and here comes SKillous with the Adepts. We do have a Shield Battery. Oh, the attacks weren't synced up. Now what? Now they do get synced up. And 1 probe goes down, 2 probes go down, 3 probes go down. So SKillous does manage to sync up his Adept shots in the end there. So if you hit, like, almost at the same time with both Adepts, the Shield Battery doesn't get a chance to respond. And both players go for a Stargate after this. This is very weird. Both players 4.5 minutes in, still on 1 base. SKillous is getting a Stargate, has 2 gateways, and for Harstem, the same. But we do have still this proxy Robo, which has not been scouted. But SKillous has seen the War Prism, I imagine. Because it is somewhere here, right? Where did it go? Oh, it's still over here. I don't know if he saw it. Honestly, I have no clue. But SKillous hasn't really seen any tech. I guess he is expecting double Immortal in the War Prism now. Do we have recall here for either player? No recall on this Nexus, no recall over there. Third Immortal coming out for SKillous. Dude, the first two games, these guys tried to expand. Game number 3, what is an expansion exactly? Just one basing it up. How cool. A little weird, but cool. Twilight console coming out for SKillous. And a third Immortal coming out for Harstem. The Immortals are here. Click down a pylon. And the Immortals and the Stalkers show up for SKillous. We do get a nice pylon snipe there with Harstem. No blink. It's just starting here for SKillous. And a Nexus is going down for Harstem. Hallucination goes down before that Nexus gets scouted. So Harstem actually, the first to expand, casual Nexus at like 530, 540. As you do. This Immortal with, or this double Immortal drop gets dropped down again, and these Stalkers, oof, get clicked down. And there is a shield battery here, but there is no blink, and this is an hallucinated Phoenix, so it can't stop the War Prism. Oh, there's more Stalkers. Please don't lose this War Prism. That would be pretty bad. It seems to be fine. I want to see if the Robo was scouted already. Doesn't seem like it was. It was not, but I mean, by this time, you should know as SKillous that, yep, there was a proxy Robo, and I have survived. Oh, there's a War Prism! Not so sneaky now. Not much of a ninja now, boy. And the force fields go down. And this fight seems pretty good for Harstem. He gets the jump onto SKillous, and a War Prism is a big advantage. It gives you pseudo blink. There's also one more Immortal. Ooh, too bad Harstem doesn't get the chase, because he could have force fielded at least one or two of those Immortals at the bottom of this ramp, but didn't quite get his sentries over there. Needed some god tier War Prism juggling for that. Now both players actually thinking about expanding, but Harstem way ahead in that department. Already has his natural up and running. Luckily for both players, their mains haven't started mining out just yet. Harstem with these Immortal drops. He's doing a lot of work here. He's putting some pressure back onto SKillous. He's like, I'm not giving you an opportunity to feel comfortable. Because when I allowed you to be comfortable, play your game in game number 1 and 2, it didn't go so well for me. So you know what? New leaf, new me. I'm a proxy Robo man. Oh my god, one Immortal goes down. But the War Prism does pick up the other one. Blink is revealed, but luckily the War Prism does not go down, saving one Immortal. And a Twilight Council goes down for Harstem. His main base starts mining out. And the same is true for SKillous. So a third base is going to be super valuable because of that. Both players already have too many probes for optimal saturation. You know, anything above 16 still gives you more income, but it's diminishing returns. 24 is maximum saturation. Anything over 24 is 0 income gained. I don't think it's negative in any way. It's not like your probes start bouncing weirdly, but it just doesn't give you any benefit. So it's better to, I guess, long distance mine with the 25th probe. Okay. Oh, the Observer gets sniped there, so SKillous gets a little bit more vision, sees the army, finds the Robo here, so can stop the next Observer from coming out here. No Observer for you, Mr. Harstem. And he's moving out. He's trying to save his Robo. He's like, that's mine, get out of here. But SKillous gets the free Robo snipe, but does not have a third base. Harstem's third base almost up. War Prism. Ooh. He can use these hallucinated Phoenix for vision. Now, SKillous is very much behind in probes. Decently equal army, and we see, oh my god, SKillous is going for the attack here. There's a bunch of Glaive Adepts and Adept Immortal attacks have, well, I wouldn't say popular, but we've seen them in PvP. Harstem is investing a lot into the future. He's getting a new Robo, Blink +1. If he dies here, that's a lot of wasted money, but if he survives, his future army is going to be so strong. As SKillous sees this army of Harstem, sees the third, sees the shield battery, sees the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Immortals, even a War Prism. Now, he does have the vision advantage with the Observer, but is it enough? We do see some force fields going down. SKillous trying to shave off a couple units here on the right, but he is still fighting those Immortals, not really using the segregation of that army as effectively. Now, I'm kind of anti-segregation personally, but in PvP and in war, things get funky. If SKillous can snipe this third base and recall out, I think that might actually be really, really good. And these Adepts, mind you, don't take a lot of damage from the Immortals. Immortals do a lot of damage against armored units, but they still have shotgun hands and can do a lot of damage. Harstem, though, pushes SKillous back. He's not targeting the Nexus anymore with his Immortals. And now he just has to micro back. The Nexus lost all of its shields already. All of the shield batteries are out of juice. The sentries in the front, no juice either. Nice pseudo blink there on the Immortal. Little bit of juice coming out of those shield batteries, and 1 Immortal goes down, 2 Immortal goes down, 3 Immortal goes down. We do see 1 Immortal being lifted up here by a real Phoenix, and SKillous is now kiting back, losing his second to last Immortal. There's only 1 here in the back. And this Nexus still alive. Oh, nice lift up. Can't be put into the War Prism anymore. Doesn't have to target it down. Harstem, nice. Trigger discipline there. Doesn't click the Immortal. It is so tempting to click the Immortal there because it's in the air. It's like a little chicken. You can just fry it there. But he clicked the War Prism instead because the Immortal wasn't going to do any damage anyways. Saves his third base, and with that, El Capitan is on the board in this best of 5, taking back a game, readying himself up for the reverse sweep. And for game number 4, we load up into Alcyone. Harstem going up against SKillous, and Harstem did what FlyQuest tried to do all year long in League of Legends. He's making us believe, because he just took game number 1 versus SKillous, and he is making this best of 5 a series. Because after the first 2 games, it looked like SKillous could very well take this best of 5 3-0. But Harstem clapping back in that spectacular game number 3 on Ghost River. Let's see if he has got more gas in the tank here for game number 4. High ground walls are all the rage in this map pool, which will be sorely missed when the new map pool drops. Honestly, I feel like we have a decent map pool right now, but I can see how some people are fatigued off of some of the maps. Side tilt, Oceanborn. Although, I don't know if we want to keep some of the newer ones, like Amphion and Dynasty post-Youth haven't been like the most liked maps, and some of the games there aren't even that good, especially Dynasty's kind of an iffy map. I personally like those, but I'm also a fan of good games. SKillous mining through and goes to the other side of the map. Harstem kind of doing a similar thing here. Oh, they find each other all right. Little awkward. But both players knowing that there is a... What's up, buddy? What's up? Give me a little hug. That is the best spray. I also use that spray a lot, especially when you proxy hatch. You first put the spray down, and then the proxy hatch, and then your spray's looking at your proxy hatch. It's pretty funny. Or at least I giggle. Stargate. From SKillous going down. What is Harstem to do here? Dude, that Cybercore was pretty fast. But I mean, it has to be as fast. I think he just delayed his gateway units to do this. And Harstem also going for a sentry. That's a lot of gas. So this is a very fast Stargate. If this Oracle doesn't get anything done, that probably makes Harstem feel pretty good in this game. Harstem goes for a Nexus, as does SKillous. Let's see how the game develops. Another sentry and another Stalker coming out. And what does SKillous have on the map? SKillous only has one Stalker so far. Just the one Stalker in front of his base. Harstem moving around with this sneaky little proby girla. And Gateway Research being chrono boosted here. Puts down a pylon. Is he gonna put down a proxy gateway and just go for it? That would be pretty spectacular. Twilight console going down for SKillous. So Stargate into Twilight. Is that vulnerable to anything? We'll see. Oh, the probe comes. The probe. You found the pylon, bro. Oh, Oh. The Oracle finds the units, or the units find the Oracle. Not sure, but the Oracle flies into the main. Now, if you have good micro, I think you can double shot and take down a probe. Oh my god, actually overcharges the battery. And... oh, okay, an Oracle actually has enough DPS to eventually kill the probes. That makes sense. Couple probes are going down, but Harstem is pulling the trigger on the other side of the map. He's like, okay, if you have such an early Oracle, I'm just going to click down your units. Is this enough Stalkers? No, this is not enough Stalkers anymore. We do have the Guardian Shield keeping this Stalker alive. Oh my god, it looked like that one Stalker was tickling the other. Guardian Shield giving that +2 armor advantage, or Plasma Shields, however you want to see it. This Oracle has killed 4 probes. Probably not enough. Now, we do have the 3 Stalkers. Couple probes going down, maybe. 2 shield batteries, 3rd shield battery. A warping in unit cannot be shield... or cannot be, yeah, cannot be refreshed by the shield battery, apparently. Couple probes get pulled off the line. We have 4 Stalkers now. Some clicks onto the sentry. Oh, SKillous doesn't lose the Stalker. And Harstem is slowly moving up to that magic number where he can start one-shotting Stalkers. Oh my god, gets a Stalker outside of the shield battery range, and also the juice is completely drained from these shield batteries. We do have 1 nuclear battery remaining in the tank here, but 7 Stalkers is enough to one-shot Stalkers. Or is it 2-shotting them? I guess it's enough to hit through shields, which means eventually you are going to start killing Stalkers, even through nuclear battery. And all of the shield batteries are out of juice because no more pylon. The probes come off the line. 3 Stalkers against the 8. And Harstem here just pushes and pushes and pushes. And that early pressure on SKillous has been paying off in this game and the previous one. Oracle gets a couple more probe kills, but... I mean, SKillous, you're just not mining from your natural, whereas Harstem is almost doubling your army worker count and army supply. I don't know if SKillous can do anything. If he stays alive, then maybe, but there's a Robo on her way here for Harstem, so even a DT Shrine is not gonna work out. Not that SKillous made one. But what else are you gonna do when you're this behind? The Stalkers, they have Blink, but... you can't blink enough if you're just getting one shot every time. It's very hard to stand and fight here. We do have another nuclear battery. That's the 3rd one. That's how long this fight has been going on. And just to add insult to injury, Harstem throws down a 3rd base. He's like, I'm so ahead. Doesn't even matter. Blink now for Harstem online as well. And he just has overwhelming power. And SKillous GG's out. And that means that we go to the rubber match. Match point for both players, 2 to 2. The final match will decide who lives and who leaves this tournament. Harstem. He's back in the best of 5. He was down 0-2, now back to 2-2, meaning that we load up into Crimson Court to decide it all. And Harstem and Showtime played this map. And you want to know what happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. They went for a crazy base race. One had a base over here, one had a base over here. And then they played it out from that position. It was pretty weird. So let's see if Harstem gets another crazy game on Crimson Court. Or if he can kind of clutch it out. SKillous though. Let's see how strong he is mentally. Because if you just lost 2 games in a row, you were up 2-0, that can feel bad. But just one more game of StarCraft, and you've beat him 2 times already, so you can do it again. Oh my god, if you pull the Nano out here, game number 5, Harstem, Proxy Gates, or even, I think it was Classic? No, it was SOS, dollar with dollar, obviously. Gates in the main. Was against Zerg, but you know. Classic was the versus Rogue, and he made DTs, and then he blinked them into the main. Or he warped them in. I'm not actually sure anymore. And he sniped the lair. That was the big thing. He sniped the lair, literally the main building of the Zerg, with Dark Templar. That was crazy as well. Now, enough with the memories down memory lane, or the pathing down memory lane. We are here for game number 5 between Harstem and SKillous. And they have been delivering. I feel like there wasn't really a boring game so far. The last 2 were super intense pressure before the second bases were really established. Game number 3, honestly, just crazy. And game number 1 was just so solid with SKillous. Like, that was impressive. Harstem gets his Nexus down. SKillous is making it look like he's getting one, but he's making Stalkers. And he's making a Stargate behind it. No Nexus for me, no. I wasted all of my minerals on a Stargate and 2 Stalkers. On the other side of the map, we see double sentry. We see a... Sorry, battery going down. And now finally, we do see the Nexus for SKillous. It's going to be slightly delayed, and good old Harstem going for his Robo play. He has 3 sentries as of now. What is he going to do? 2 Stalkers arrive. Is that enough to do any good damage? I don't think so with the shield battery finishing up here. Hallucinated Phoenix runs across the map, or flies across the map, is going to scout this Oracle being chrono boosted out. And with Warp Gate completing, probably going to have enough Stalkers on the map here for Harstem to stay safe, because she can't see that Oracle on the Stargate being built. Which is kind of funny. I don't know if you can see it on the Robo as well. I think you can, but just don't use it that much. We'll check it out when this gets built, if you can see anything in the Robo. No, you can't, right? I don't see anything. This Oracle being chased down by this Phoenix, making him feel bad. Harstem playing the mental game here. And SKillous again going for the Twilight after the Stargate. Looking very similar to the previous game. I'm a little surprised by that. That SKillous goes for a very similar build as he did on Alcyone. And this time around, Harstem just isn't punishing it the same way. Is El Capitan going to regret that? Goes for a Revelation. Oh my god. Doesn't even get a Stasis Ward or anything. Well, there's a second Oracle. Still in the back, lingering. We do see Twilight Console and Forge coming up for Harstem. So Harstem staying true to his style of PvP. Going to get +1 and Twilight Console way later. SKillous going for a forward third base. With the Rich Geyser. That is interesting. How does that play out? You can also just mine out the golden minerals. Go for a base over there. You can go for the triangle base. But the third base of SKillous is in the front, or, well, the middle of the map, towards the middle, with the rich geyser. There's one of these new maps that has like a mineral patch on top of the geyser, so you can't mine from it right away. That is kind of interesting. As a Zerg player, I'm like, ah, man, I just want to take that geyser and do a Ravager all in. But, you know, I understand that's a little boring. We've been doing that for a couple of years now. The Observer scouts this base. There's a lot of Stalkers here from SKillous. SKillous has Blink. He has a couple more gates finishing up. Puts him on 6 gateways. He's getting +1 only just now. And Harstem is going for Glaives, dude. Glaives is his first Twilight upgrade. Are you kidding me? Is this just going to be the Immortal Glaive push and just go for the win? Harstem doesn't expand too far forward. Goes for the triangle base. He has an observer over here, sees this Oracle that is looking for some juicy proby boys. Or girlas. Both players kind of or similar incomes, except for SKillous having that rich geyser. So has a little bit more gas to work with. For the amount of probes that are mining gas. Oh, this probe finds a mineral line that does not have a shield battery. And 4 probes do go down the... Oh. Observer goes down. Oracle goes down. SKillous only on 3 gas, one of them being rich. Resonating Glaives, and oh, that's a fake War Prism. I love that. That is really cool. I don't know if that's gonna pay off, but it is definitely cool. And how many Immortals do we have? 3 Immortals. And a bunch of Depths here. We see a Robo Twilight console coming up for SKillous. He's going for charge and +1, so SKillous is just doing his style. Going into Harstem, just doing his style. What a nice way to end game number 5. Both players playing the way they think they should play in PvP. Not just one of them going for a crazy cheese, although crazy cheeses are pretty fun. Adepts get into the mineral line here at the third base. Harstem walks up, does not find a 4th here. There is a probe that is thinking about it. And here comes a real War Prism. Harstem tries to take this field center away from SKillous, and he's in between the bases. And the Adepts are coming in here, helping to deal with all of these charge slots that SKillous does like to build. Harstem, again, up against a lot of charge slots in a game number 5. Last time we saw it versus Showtime, he made the Colossus. Didn't quite work, but the Adepts, are they going to be the difference maker? We find the Templar Archives there, but I don't know if you have time to click that down. 2 Immortals remaining in this army for Harstem. A couple Zealots try to get on that third base, but they're actually going back. Adepts go for a shade in, and now they are being chased by a lot of charge Zealots. I don't know if any of them are going to survive. Maybe one of them does. Only a couple of units get stuck in the stasis here. And it's just gateway units here from Harstem reinforcing with mass Adepts here. Off of 10 gateways, or no, that's SKillous. 8 gateways for Harstem. 8 gate Adept with 2 Immortals behind it. Might warp in a couple Stalkers if he needs them. But charge Zealots coming from the back. And now these Adepts really need to show that they roast Zealots. And SKillous actually has 2 cannon and a battery completely unpowered. That is not what you want to see here. And the 2 Immortals still reigning supreme in the back. There's an Immortal there, but Harstem sees it, pounces on it, gets it down, and only some Stalkers and a charge Zealot remaining. SKillous, is he gonna get reverse 3-0'd? The reverse sweep. El Capitan, his heart must be in his throat, and SKillous gives him the G to the G. And Harstem takes this best of 5 away from SKillous, stays alive in the Bellum Gents Elite. Oh my word. I mean, that's how you deserve to win a best of 5. That is... If you are to deserve to win one, this is how you win it. Harstem takes down SKillous in this best of 5, and that was a great series. I think it is our duty to rate this series a 4 out of 6 golden minerals. Because this one is going to be one of those goldies.
Locked in.
Maybe an oldie at some point. But this was just good PvP all around. A series you can just watch and enjoy. Wasn't the biggest storyline of the century, but definitely a great series from both players. I enjoyed it. I hope you also enjoyed it. Be sure that you are subscribed to the channel for more StarCraft 2, and I will definitely see you in the next one. Cheers.